Alright, in this episode we are going to see how to create this particle JS effect using HTML, CSS and JavaScript. So we are going to create this from scratch without any library, JavaScript library. We are going to create this with only vanilla JavaScript. So to start, if you want to start along with me, I'll leave a source code in the description so that you and I code at the same time. Great. Now the next thing, to give you an intro, we need three files: HTML file, CSS file, and JavaScript file. Fine. Let me create this for you. Create a new file. I'm going to place this on the same folder. So let me name this as demo.html, and we need another file called demo.css, and another file which is going to be script demo.js. Cool. So the HTML is very straightforward. Let's link the style sheet and the script file first. Link. So it's demo.css. Let's link the JS as well. Script src demo.js, and we just need one thing: canvas. That's it for the HTML. Now let's work on the CSS. Let's first remove the default margin and padding given by the browser. Padding 0, margin 0, and box sizing border box. Great. Now let's design the canvas. Let's give the width of 100 percentage and height of 100 percentage. Let's give the background in the form of linear gradient. So to bottom, let's pick two colors. So in linear gradient, we used to say this as what do you call this, color spot. Let's pick green as first color spot, and let's pick blue again. Now we can see this on our HTML. We have named our file as demo.html. Let me check. Yeah, we have this. Let's open Control O, demo.html. Here it is. So you can see the linear gradient is applied. So for our safety, let's just use position as well. Position absolute, top of 0, left of 0. This is not going to do anything. We just do this in case if there is any problem. Cool. Now let's work on the script. The first thing, let's just call the canvas document.query selector. We can pass the HTML inside query selector. Now let's define this canvas so that we can give 2D properties. That means we can just by giving get context 2D, we are saying that this canvas can have any number of functionality that is given by the HTML. Canvas is an API, if you remember. Let's store this as ctx variable. Now let's give the width and height to canvas as the screen width, which is window dot inner width. Then let's give the height the same way, window dot inner height, and let's just call an array particle array. It's just array name. We'll define this later on. Let's design the constructor function, and the function name is particle. we need to pass some parameter. Let's pass x-axis position, y-axis position, and the direction of x-axis and the direction of y-axis, and then the size of the color, sorry, size of the ball, and the color of the ball. Cool. Now let's just define this dot x equal to the passed value. The passed value will be stored in the form of this value x. So if you know object oriented, this is how it's saved, so that we can get the copy of the particle function whenever we initialize the object. So this is going to be y, then we have direction x, and this value is saved as this variable, and then we have direction y, let's store the size as well, then let's store the color. Once this is done, we can do we need to create one more function. So that function, instead of creating inside here, we'll make it as a separate. So call the function and use the prototype dot draw. So this is similar to, let me complete this. So this function is similar to having draw this way, function draw. We can also define here, but it's not the good practice. I am making it as a separate. So now we need to draw on the HTML. So for that we have to use the function ctx. So this is the variable which we have defined, dot begin path. So this is required whenever we want to write something on the screen. We would call this function begin path, and the next thing, we want to draw a circle. So to draw a circle, we have a function called arc, and we need to pass the x-axis, this dot x, then we have this dot y, then we can pass, then it pass size, this is radius, and if you want, we have this open x-axis, y-axis, radius, starting angle. Let the starting angle be 0, and the ending angle need to be math dot pi into 3.14, and then the counterclockwise, this is the default value, false. So this is also again a default value we need to pass. Actually it's not 3.14, it's 2. The pi value is 3.14. Then after writing this, we need to give the color fill style equal to this dot color, then we need to give fill, and that's it. Now we have to make a condition. We have to make a condition that if this ball touches this, they need to change its direction. You can see it got changed, it changes its direction. The same way, if this touches over this corner, again it will change direction from the negative value. Let me show you what do I mean. Let's create another function and we'll name this as update. So now we have to check if the ball this dot x-axis plus this dot size, so this is actually the position of the ball. If it is greater than canvas dot width or less than 0, then we need to change the position of the direction x. This dot direction x equal to minus this dot direction x. Cool. The same way for the y-axis, inner height, here it's going to be y and here it's going to be y. Then once this is done, I want to have the draw function run this dot draw. Now we have to initialize the value, this value in the random format. So let's call a function, create a function called init, and this init will create balls. So I need 100 balls for variable I equal to 0, I is greater than equal to 100, then I plus plus. So I want this to be 100 times. I want the ball need to be 100 times. So let's first define this array. Now let's start working on the x-axis. So start with size, math dot random, and it need to start from 0 and end till 40. Then let's work on x-axis, math dot random, then we have to calculate this with inner height, so it's width x-axis, then we have size. So let me copy paste the calculation, x-axis and the direction, and let's define the color equal to, for now we'll give the hardcode value white, and then let's pass these value to the object x comma y, direction x comma direction y, then we have size, then we have color. Now we have to push this inside the array, the particle array dot push. So I hope you understand, we have 100 balls inside the array, particle array. Cool. Now we want this animation take place, so here we need to have the recurring function, which is function, we'll name this as animate, and the function which will call another function, so that function name is request animation frame, and we need to call the same function. So this animate function will call request animation, and again this request animation is going to call animate. So this is going to get looped again and again. So on every loop I want to clear the screen, cts dot clear rect x and y is 0, then we need to pass inner height, inner width, and then inner height. Cool. Now then we need to call update function on each balls which is inside array. So if you know, the update function is going to check and reverse the position. So we need to have update function on each ball. So for loop variable I equal to 0, I is greater than equal to particular array dot length, then I plus plus, call this particular array one by one by passing the value, by passing index, and then run the update function, and that's it. Now we just need to call init and animate function. Now we can see the balls, but it will not move. Now there's an error. Let's check what is causing the error. It's get context text. Cool. We are having an error again on line number 54. So actually it was, we need to we just needed to return the we need to remove the equal to, because array value starts from 0. Now we can see the balls. But it is not moving. So to have this moving, we have to write this dot x position equal to direction x value plus 0.2, the same way direction y value instead of having this. There seems to be an error. Yeah, it's working. I believe the scope of this video is done. Thank you so much for listening. So we just need one correction. This is this dot x. Now we can have the random value. Previously we were getting all the circles as the same. It is because we have passed just size. We just need to pass this dot size. Fine. Get the source code in the description.